Several months ago, we started running into faults on our new TV boxes that work on the Telus TV boxes. They were power supplies were failing. They were failing left, right, and center. And if you've got one of them, even if it's a new unit, it may have a bad power supply because there's still bad ones being shipped. I'll show you how to identify it, and we'll talk about the problems, and then we're going to take it apart and see why it went bad. This is kind of more of a public service announcement, just to let people on the Telus network with your Telus TV digital box know if you're experiencing any problems, like the box is rebooting on its own or it's not working. The first thing you got to check is there's a known issue here that we can resolve, and we're gonna tear down the problem component on here. But this one's a brand new box, and this one's never been activated. I'm just going to open this one up because there's a good chance that this one came with a defective piece of equipment with it. I know the box is kind of beat up here, but we're going to see if this has got, this one being brand new, they're still shipping with bad power supplies. So this is the box in question. It looks like this. There are a couple different versions. There's a smaller version which uses a USB-C. This is the one that's problematic. It uses a regular power supply, and the problem with this one is there was a defect on the power supply. This is a brand new one. This is a defective power supply. You know, it probably works because it's new, but it won't work for long. There's a known issue on these power supplies, and there was a replacement power supply that was sent out, and it has a blue dot right on the bottom corner here, bright blue sticker. If you've got one of these boxes and you're experiencing problems with it rebooting or not booting up or not having video, there's a good chance that the fault is the power supply. I don't have a new one to show you because I just on my way home from work swapped out a power supply for a customer that was experiencing problems. So I figured I would bring this to you guys' attention because this is a known issue with this particular box. I do have the power supply here that I just swapped out for a customer. This is not very old. Like, this is only a month or two old, and it failed. So what's the problem with them? Is it bad capacitors, or is it, you know, I'm sure it's bad caps at the factory level. But what I'm getting at is there are new boxes that are still being shipped. We have new boxes in our warehouse that don't have the new power supply in them, and we're having to swap them out at time of installation. And there's lots of them that are mailed out to people. Yeah, this got kind of beat up sitting in my truck, which it's going to be going back into. I got this old power supply here. We're going to crack this one apart because this one I just changed out. It's bad. We're going to take a look at this thing and see why is it bad. Is it? I don't expect that I'm going to see bulging caps in here because it's new. But the failure rate on these is close to 100%. If you've got one of those boxes and it's experiencing reboots on its own or freezing or any of the other symptoms, it could very well be the power supply. Check it and see. When you contact customer service, tell them, I've got an old power supply, it does not have a blue dot. They'll typically mail you a new one or send a technician out to replace it. Anyway, let's get this one open and see what's going on inside this one. First, let's take a look at the specifications on this one. So this is just the FCC warning, but on this side here, it's a MOSO switching power adapter, model MSA C1500CS120.12.0 -18G-US for Technicolor. Part number, input voltage 100 to 120 volts, output is 12 volts, 1.5 amps. All right, we're in like Flynn. What's inside this beast? First of all, the prongs, the connector, it just connects to little terminals there on the board. Is that the problem? Is that where it's going bad? Is that why it's shutting down and rebooting? Is it a bad connection on here? Maybe there's the fault right there. You know, I see a resettable fuse. Is that the fault? When I first looked at this unit, I saw the, they call the fuse 1, F1, but it's not really. It's a thermistor, NTC, negative temperature coefficient, which what that means is that the resistance goes down as it heats up. These are typically used for inrush current protection. So when the unit first starts, this might be, you know, a couple of ohms, and then once it starts to warm up, the resistance will drop, as opposed to a PTC, which is usually used as a resettable fuse. But looking at the unit itself, I mean, nothing really jumps out at me. There's no caps or bulging, which I wouldn't expect them to be, because this is not old. It's just all these units had a design flaw. Now, it could be a connection, or it could be a bad component. AC comes in. One side is connected right over to here. I think is there a jumper there? Oh, there's a fuse there. Is this one? There's our fuse. We've got an NTC, negative temperature coefficient thermistor, but here's our fuse here, F1. It's 6.3 amps. Looks like. Well, it's got 6.3/5AL/3.15, 250 volts, 300 volts. This is our fuse right here. This guy. Any connection issues on here? Let's just take a close look at this thing. Don't worry about that. I did that trying to get into this thing. That's the fuse there. I'm looking at the monitor to see if I can spot any connections, but that doesn't look like it's bad. And then it goes over to the rectifier, the neutral side. I don't think this is polarized, is it? It's not even polarized. This can go in either way. So one side is going to be hot, the other side is going to be neutral, but it doesn't matter because you can reverse it. But the other side is over on this side, and it goes through this thermistor, this negative temperature coefficient thermistor, which is there to basically give it a bit of protection from inrush. This is a metal oxide varistor that is across here. That one is across this line here, which is basically across the AC line. So basically, if you had a power surge, if the input voltage were to exceed 120, because these are only rated for 120 volts, this MOV would shunt and blow the fuse. That's what its job is to do, is to prevent overvoltage, to prevent possible fire. On this side this is the DC side of the rectifier. We have a couple little spark gaps here before it gets to the chopper. And that's another thing. What is the number of this MOSFET? Because I have a VCR that needs a MOSFET. I don't know if this is the right one or not. But that's the MOSFET there for the transformer. But our rectified DC, this is the positive rail, this is the negative rail. It says positive and negative right there. Filtered by the main filter cap here, and then it goes into the transformer and the MOSFET, which is this component here. Oscillators in here. The feedback loop is, where is it? It's over here. That's our feedback loop. But nothing sticks out as, there's no obvious bad connections. So it's one of a couple things. Either the voltage is not regulating correctly, and it's too low and not regulating properly, and it's causing the box to reboot, which is a possibility if the voltage is a little bit low. We can test that. I can power this thing up. I'm just looking to see if there's anything obvious on the board here first before I do that. Is there anything on here that stands out as a manufacturer defect, even though we know it does have a manufacturer defect because it's not working? And there's a hell of a lot of them that have a manufacturer defect because they came out with a revised power supply, and the revised power supply has got a blue sticker to indicate that it was one that was there was changes made at the manufacturer level. So we know the new versus the old version. That trace I've damaged. Before I power this thing up, I'll have to repair that trace because I think it's probably it might be damaged. Yeah, but I'm looking to see if I notice any solder connections that are bad, and that's why I've got the camera zoomed right in like this. I don't know if I can get any closer without going out of focus. Oh, that would get a little closer. I mean, the soldering looks fine. I don't see any issues with soldering on this thing. Cold, this NTC is 2.1 ohms, and I think this fuse is probably fine. Let's just make sure. Yeah, that's okay. And did I sever this connection? I think I probably severed this. Yeah, I severed that one. When my screwdriver slipped in there when I was prying it apart. How about this other lead over here? Yeah, that one's okay. But this one is open, so we're going to fix that first. All right, that one's fixed. Let's get the power supply hooked up to power in no particular order. We can hook this one up here, hook that up to that one, and we'll hook this other one up over to this thing. NTC. Okay, this is now ready to power up. I've got the power off, obviously, right now. I'm on the dim bulb tester, so if something were to short, it's not going to do any damage. Get the power supply ready to go. Get the meter fired up here, and we'll check the voltage if it turns on. I could start to draw some current on here and see what happens, and I think I will. So let me go grab a load, and we're going to put a load on here and just see whether this thing is going to drop. 12.2 volts. We'll put a. It's 1.5 amp. What do we need to draw 1.5 amps? Huh? Anybody? Anybody? How big a resistor do we need for a 1.5 amps? Well, a 12 ohm resistor would give us 1 amp. 8 ohms. 8 ohm resistor. This is a 50 watt 8 ohm resistor. We're going to put that across the DC output, and we're going to draw 1.5 amps. Grab some alligator clips and see whether this thing shuts down or does any weird things. Maybe an issue where the power supply just could not supply enough current and was tripping out early, which is always a big possibility. That could be exactly what the problem is that the power supply itself is not capable of putting out its rated power, and it shuts down. 12.2 volts. We'll put the load on now. Drops to 11.9. Let's just see how long it'll go at 11.9. Will it shut down, or will it continue? That's the question. And if it is dropping down to 11.9, is that below the threshold for the box? Is it maybe the voltage is fluctuating down at 11.9 volts and the box itself needs that 12 volts, and it becomes intermittent? This is something to keep in mind, is that maybe, just maybe, that is why they've gone intermittent, is because this thing is not putting out the full voltage. But maybe if it runs for a while, the voltage will actually drop more than this. The 50 watt resistor, so the resistor will get warm, but it will not burn it out. But there we're back to 12 volts, which is what we want. But the question is, will it continue to operate at this load? If it stays at 12 volts, we're fine. But what I'm concerned about is it gonna drop? Is it gonna drop to 11 or is it gonna drop to 10? I'm gonna let this thing run for a while and just see. We'll monitor it. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I got fly leads on here now, so I don't have to hold the probe into the end of the barrel connector. But it's been going now for I don't know, 10 minutes. And we're down to 10.5 volts under load. If I remove the load, we go back to 12.2. Put the load back on. I think we know what the problem with this thing is. It's not holding the voltage. That's the problem. We've identified the root cause. This voltage, the power supply is dropping, and it's dropping below the minimum voltage for that set-top box, and the set-top box is rebooting. This power supply being rated at 1.5 amps, 12 volts at 1.5 amps, it should be putting out 1.5 amps all day long. I can measure the current. I got a current loop on my meter. Let's throw the meter on here. We'll put it in amps mode. It's putting 1.1 amp out right now because the voltage has dropped. There's the problem. There we go. Okay. Power supply is putting out 1.1 amps, 10.65 volts. Some component on here is not quite to spec. The power on this is 11.5 watts, 11.63 watts. You can see the power on here. Our current is now down at 1.08, 1.1 now, 1.08. You see it's fluctuating a bit, but our voltage is down to 10.6 volts. And that is going to be why the set-top boxes are dumping out and rebooting. It's because the voltage is dropping, and it's dropping below the threshold for it to operate, and it's rebooting. So, mystery is solved. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.